Welcome to SYNC-O-WICZ, your premier destination for election news and information. We are proud to present a brand new series designed to help you discover each candidate's platform. Join us where all candidates from all parties are welcome. Every candidate, every party, no filter. Let's jump in.
Hi, welcome to SYNC-O-WICZ Presents Candidate Spotlight. I'm Linda SYNC-O-WICZ. I'm the founder and CEO of Fight Voter Fraud. Our guest for this segment is Colonel Mike Immler. So welcome, Mike. Thank you so much for coming on.
Well, thank you very much for having me today. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here.
So you are running for Dallas County Judge in Dallas, Texas. So why don't you give us a little bit of background about yourself and why you're running?
Well, I sure will. Thank you for the opportunity to be here today, and I appreciate the attention that folks are giving to this very critical race here in Dallas County. A little bit about myself. I'm an Air Force veteran. I retired as a colonel after serving for 30 years as an attorney in the Air Force. And also, I'm a businessman, really, because most of my time in the Air Force was as a reservist. So that was kind of my part-time job. My real full-time job was with the Army and Air Force Exchange Service, which is headquartered here in Dallas, Texas. So I came here in Dallas in 1986, and I've been a resident of Dallas County now for 40 years. When I was working at the Army and Air Force Exchange Service, I had lots of opportunities to learn how to run large and complex organizations. I eventually was able to become the deputy CEO of an $8 billion a year worldwide organization. If you don't know much about the Army and Air Force Exchange Service, we take care of military families around the world at most Army and Air Force bases that take care of our families and our service members abroad, as well as here in the United States. So I have lots of experience running large organizations and being accountable for large budgets. Part of my experience also is in the government affairs arena. I've been dealing with government affairs since the early 1990s when I became really the counsel for our Washington office, the Army and Air Force Exchange Service. And I parlayed that into several opportunities to promote legislation in Congress and to work with secretaries of the different departments, as well as general officers and secretaries of our services. I also am very proud to be part of the First Command Financial Services, where I led their military affairs department. And I was able to highlight the success and the contributions that military spouses make to our country in supporting our service members around the world. I was actually a finalist for a national award for all the work we did in supporting and bringing the attention of military spouses to the public.
I'll tell you, your qualifications for the position you're running for are just incredible. But I think some people may not know exactly what a Dallas County judgeship entails. So, do you want to tell your constituents exactly what that job means?
Sure, and I understand the confusion because a lot of folks, when they hear the term judge, they think you're going to put on a black robe, you're going to sit in a courtroom and listen to attorneys argue back and forth. But in the state of Texas, what we have is a county government that is run by a county judge and a commissioner's court. And essentially, the county judge is the CEO of a particular county. So in this case, it would be the CEO of Dallas County. It means you would be taking care of the sheriff's department, the jails, helping run the hospitals, public health. You would be doing roads and bridges, elections, and basically running the operations of county government for the geographical area of Dallas County. Now, Dallas County consists of 31 individual municipalities or cities, with the city of Dallas being the very largest one. So there's a lot of work between the county government and the individual cities and their city councils and city managers. So it's a lot about working together and bringing things to fruition to help the residents of Dallas County. And that's really primarily the reason that I want to run for this office is to make Dallas County the premier county in Texas.
So, what are your three main objectives once you're elected as the Dallas County judge?
Well, I think there's more than three, but I'll start with the top three because there's a lot of opportunities for improvement in Dallas County. But the first thing I want to do is identify where our tax dollars are going. Every resident in Dallas County pays property taxes and pays taxes into county government, but there's no transparency about where those dollars are being spent and to whom they're being spent with. So I want to initially conduct a forensic audit to understand where the money is coming from. I think we got a really good picture on where the money's coming from, but we don't have a very good picture on where it's going and to what particular functions that money is being spent. We don't know if it's going to non-government organizations, private organizations. We just don't have a lot of transparency right now with our current county government. They spend a lot of time in executive session. A lot of times that makes those decisions not available under the Open Records Act. So some of those decisions about where our tax dollars are going are secret. And I think people in Dallas County deserve transparency and accountability for where their tax dollars are going. So that's my first order of business. I think once we go through that forensic audit, we will find that there's a lot of waste and abuse. Now, if there's fraud,
Mhm.
then we will refer that fraud to the particular agencies that deal with that, whether it's the Dallas District Attorney or the State Attorney General. But that's a criminal act, and that's not part of my purview. But I want to eliminate waste and abuse. And I believe there's enough waste and abuse that's in the system that we could probably reduce your tax burden, the overall tax burden for Dallas County residents, somewhere between 15 and 20%. What that does, that puts money back into your pocket that you have control over rather than giving it away to the government, the county government, where you have no control over it. So I think we'll start off with an audit. We'll eliminate waste and abuse, put money back in your pocket. But in the process of putting money back in your pocket, we're not going to diminish any of the core services that are required to give Dallas County residents the security they need. In mentioning security, I want to address public safety. Public safety is one of the key reasons that some of the businesses in the city of Dallas, like AT&T, Neiman Marcus, the Dallas Mavericks, the Dallas Stars, are actually vacating downtown Dallas because of safety concerns for their employees. There's also a
Oh,
big homelessness issue. Address those issues as far as public safety, and I believe with the money that we identify from the audit, we'll be able to redirect resources to address public safety and the homelessness issue.
wow. That's a lot that you'll end up covering, but everything that you would be doing would be benefiting the constituents of Dallas County itself. As far as election integrity, would you have anything to do with election integrity?
Absolutely. So the elections department that works for the county government, and we have an election administrator. And it's important for folks to know that that particular office has been run by one of our liberal candidates for the past 20 years. We need to bring in some change to that. And that is going to be one of my top priorities is to make sure that there is election integrity so people can be confident that their vote counts. There's a anecdote going around town right now that some of the folks that are currently in the commissioner's court want to establish mobile voting sites where they create a like an RV and they take it around to various different organizations or neighborhoods and allow folks to come in and vote because they're bringing the voting machine to them. This is ripe for fraud. This is ripe for voter disenfranchisement. So we have to make sure that we establish good controls over how voting is observed. There's integrity in it, there's accountability in it, and there's no disenfranchisement of whatever group you belong to. I want to stress this point real quick. My campaign is not whether you are Republican or Democrat or independent, liberal or conservative. I'm running to serve the county, the residents of Dallas County, regardless of their background, regardless of their political beliefs. I believe it's important for the residents of Dallas County to have accountability and trustworthiness in their government. And that's what I intend to bring. My Air Force career has given me the responsibility to run complex organizations as a leadership. have the discipline to know how to run effective organizations. In my business background, I was the chief strategy officer, chief compliance officer, as well as being the executive vice president and deputy CEO. These give me the resources and the talents and the skill sets to make sure that Dallas County is run the right way, in the proper way, so people have faith and trust in their government.
Which is what we need, and I was just gonna ask you what your strengths were, but you have so many strengths. First of all, being from the military, because it's very precise, very regimented, and again, thank you for your service for our country and everything that you've done. So between that, and you had told me earlier that you were actually with JAG, which means you
Yes,
were an attorney?
that's correct.
So you
So
have that background plus working with the Army program that you had with a lot of people under you. So you know what you're doing. And again, the transparency. And I'm so glad that you think having an RV driving around to make things, quote, easier for people to register to vote, that makes it easier for people to cheat. We should have one election day, same day, in person, paper ballots, hand counted to make sure all your constituents that their voices are heard. So I'm glad to hear you thought that was not a very good idea.
well, no, it's
Um,
not,
what are
not at
some of
all.
the other things that you want people to know about you again and why they should be voting for you in November?
Well, thank you for asking that. So I spent my entire career, whether it was in the military or in the business world, solving problems. In the business world, what you're always after is great customer service. And also, you want to make sure that you're profitable and that you're giving a return on an investment, that people that invest money with you are getting something of value. So I've made a point to make sure that every time we have an issue, we have a certain protocol of how we're going about solving problems. I like to surround myself with people that are smarter than me, that ask the hard questions, that help me guide the organization. And I think my track record speaks for itself that I've been very successful and making sure that problems are looked at from a 360-degree perspective. It's not just my way or the highway. It's what's in the best interest of the people that are being impacted. To me, that's what you have to put your mindset to and look at how to resolve issues. Building collaborative or coalitions is another important aspect of running a successful organization. In my history, both in the Air Force and in the business world, I've worked with governments, different kinds of governments. We built shopping centers in Germany. We built shopping centers in Asia. We've had to deal with both local government issues, entities in Germany. We've dealt with city governments, state governments. I've been very involved in making those plans come to fruition. Very proud of the fact that we built a lifestyle center at Fort Bliss in El Paso, the first of its kind, an outdoor mall for our service members. We have a Buffalo Wild Wings there. We have a Templex movie theater. We put in a Texas Roadhouse. We have a lot of things that we do to make the lives of our folks better. And that's the track record that I bring to Dallas County. I am going to make the life of every Dallas County resident better. One of the things I didn't get a chance to talk to you about a little while ago was I want to promote small business economic growth. It is a very important, according to the National Retail Federation, 80% of the economic growth in a community or society comes from small business. And we don't have a proponent or someone that's promoting small business effectively here in Dallas County. There are areas in Dallas County that are blighted, that have been overrun by, the lack of public safety or crime and those types of things. And I want to bring in a task force that the National Retail Federation has to help us identify how we can promote small business. When we do that, we give folks the opportunity to build generational wealth, to lift themselves up out of the level of poverty that they may be in, to establish themselves as homeowners, as business owners, and establish that pride in their community and reinvent that community to be a prosperous community. And we can do that. And in doing so, we will definitely make Dallas County the premier county in the state of Texas.
I'll tell you, if they don't vote for you, they have issues because you are absolutely qualified to be the judge of Dallas County. And I believe you said that Dallas is the biggest county or the biggest city in your particular county. So, is there anything else that you'd like to tell your constituents again on why they should be voting for you in November? And of course, make sure they come out and vote. So, why should they vote for you?
So here's the bottom line. We are at a crossroads here in Dallas County. We've had the same administration for the last 14 years. In those 14 years, your taxes have gone up 12 times. I think you should be able to demand a change in government that has continually raised your taxes but not given you any extra benefit for that increased tax rate. We also have an issue with if Dallas County, if the crossroads is, are we really content with what we have today, or are we on the precipice of looking like Minneapolis? Are we going to look like Portland or Seattle? Heaven forbid, Los Angeles, or my God, if we're going to be like New York City. So we need to make sure that we establish our conservative values. And we have a lot more in common conservatively than we have differences. We all believe in a balanced budget. We all believe in fiscal responsibility. We believe in good home life. Those are conservative values that transcend party lines. And I'm going to be the representative, the candidate, the Dallas County judge that takes care of everybody, whether they're green, yellow, black, white, blue, red, whatever color they're going to be, whatever denomination they are. I'm going to represent you because I'm with you and I'm for you. I've been a resident of Dallas County for 40 years. I know what is needed, and I'm going to deliver for you. I represent you, not myself.
Well, Colonel Immler, I mean, you are phenomenal with your background, with everything that you are going to be able to do as the judge of Dallas County come this January when you take your oath of office. So I want to thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. And we want people to get out and vote. And more importantly, vote for Colonel Mike Immler. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me today. It's been an honor and a pleasure and a privilege to be here to tell folks why they should vote for me.